1994, a student at one of China's top universities began losing her hair. At first, doctors thought it was stress. Then her skin darkened, her muscles weakened, and within weeks, she could barely move. At first, they believed it was a rare illness, but one medical test changed everything. She had been poisoned, not once, but twice. And the substance detected was extremely rare: thallium poisoning, a chemical so dangerous it is almost always linked to intentional poisoning cases in criminal investigations. But what makes this one of the most disturbing unsolved mystery cases in China is not only what happened to her, it is that despite a full criminal investigation, no one was ever convicted, even though one suspect was known from the beginning. Let's go back. Beijing, Tsinghua University, one of the most prestigious universities in China, a place where only the top students in the country can study. This is where Zhu Ling studied. She was known as a bright, quiet student, focused on her education, living an ordinary university life. Nothing about her suggested she would become part of one of the most discussed true crime stories in China. But everything changed when her health began to decline without explanation. It started with simple symptoms: stomach pain, fatigue, headaches, then something far more unusual. Her hair began falling out in clumps. Doctors ran multiple tests. They suspected stress, then infection, then possible environmental causes, but nothing matched. Every result came back unclear, and while medical teams searched for answers, her condition continued to worsen. At first, it looked like a rare illness, something neurological, something autoimmune. She was hospitalized and treated, and for a brief moment, there was hope. Her condition stabilized slightly, but then everything changed again. Her health collapsed rapidly, far worse than before. This sudden shift made doctors reconsider everything. This was no longer a random illness. Something unnatural was happening. Medical tests confirmed the truth. Thallium poisoning, a rare and highly toxic substance, colorless, odorless, extremely difficult to detect without specific testing, and almost never accidental. This discovery changed the entire direction of the case, because thallium exposure does not happen by chance. It requires access. It requires intention. And in this case, it appeared to have happened more than once, which raised a terrifying possibility. Someone was targeting her deliberately. Authorities and classmates began reviewing her life, her dormitory, her daily routine, her social interactions, and slowly, attention turned toward someone close to her, a fellow student, someone with proximity, someone with opportunity. Rumors circulated within the university. Conflicts were mentioned. Emotional tension was suggested. But nothing concrete was ever proven. No direct evidence existed, only suspicion. And suspicion alone is never enough for a conviction. As the investigation continued, it began to slow, not because interest faded, but because evidence was missing. No confirmed source of the poison, no eyewitness confirmation, no forensic link strong enough to hold in court, just fragments of possibility and unanswered questions. This is where many true crime stories reach a dead end. But in this case, the silence became permanent. Years later, the case returned, not through official channels, but through online discussions and true crime communities. People began analyzing old reports, university records, dormitory access, timelines, and one question kept appearing again and again. How could a poisoning case inside one of China's top universities remain unsolved? And more importantly, Why was no one ever convicted in a formal criminal investigation? This question turned the case into one of the most discussed unsolved mystery stories in China. Despite widespread public belief and suspicion, there was no conviction. The official reason was lack of evidence. No direct proof linking any individual to the poisoning. No confirmed method of delivery. No legally admissible confession. Over time, the case lost momentum in the legal system. It did not end with closure. It ended with silence. Meanwhile, Zhu Ling's condition never fully recovered. She survived, but her life was permanently changed. The most disturbing part of this case is not only the poisoning itself, it is the absence of resolution. No confession, no conviction, no clear explanation. Just a life permanently altered, and a case file that never reached closure. For many who follow true crime documentaries and unsolved cases, this is what makes the story unforgettable. Even today, the case is still discussed online. New theories appear. Old suspicions are revisited, but nothing changes the core reality. A student was poisoned, twice, inside a prestigious university environment, and despite a full criminal investigation, no one was ever convicted, which leaves only one question, still unanswered. If everyone already had a suspect, why was no one ever held accountable? Or perhaps the deeper question is this: was the truth never found, or simply never proven?